Welcome back to Railway Track Invisible Room.
Eminem and Rajiv. Manny. He lives at a house on rooms and floors and homes and wallpapers and ceilings. Room train.
Bed night for Ralph. One night of a morning into a spooks at night, but he was bedroom and the president of his mind was in branch line. But Ralph had to be come into a service into a dark of the night room. "It's a bedroom that we will mark at all," said Ralph. Ralph is derailment into a cliff with a train wreck into a pileup with his floors. Ralph was in a no speaks for his going to the dark in the president, but I didn't think. But then Eternal leave it to work at Ralph and he work at camera. Ralph was waiting on the president for his famous. "Well, this is the ready to cliff face," said Ralph. But Ralph was in terrible. Everything happened at once. Super longest dark, 3. The other engines watches the freight, Lee, Barry, Ralph, and Jason, but he think about Ralph's green paint with red stripes. The mean engines were into a unknown race car is flipped over, but Lee and Ralph was feeling confused. "Old Rusty and Green," said Ralph, "how about many people of the chest of a now return?" "Nobody has been told us that the president has flywheel," said Barry. "This is the green one into unknown places," said Jason. "Driven by," said Lee, "for example to reimage of the Sierra the locomotive." "Off you go," puffed Ralph. Ralph is a very strife and coupling up to Jason and his train. Jason and Ralph were just in ride along with some computer. Aaron was just thinking about when Jason and Ralph returns. "Oh my," said Ralph, "my front wheels are drive." Aaron and Ralph were in sound, said Jason. Ralph and Jason heard about music stops.
Okay, try now.
"All right," said Aaron. "Rawl is a take and play with wooden railway buffers into a tiny hole." "Diesel is here," said Sheldon. "I have to great spin the engines are dieselification." "Not yet, Sheldon," said Jackman. "I'll never steps into a Milan Crotunia creates." Jason and Ralph was feeling mad and D the one that we have to learn Aaron, Sheldon, and Jackman. "Real good luck on Sirius," puffed Aaron. Jason and Ralph were into kitchen when and happy to come here. This for me at all Jason and Ralph into a horrible situation. Then, Ralph was happy to bus cross-country with the train. And he was right about them. "Jason," said Ralph, "who is over there, and he into great spirits on cat on table." "Be careful, Ralph," said Jason, "grease with honey," and he was in cook. Jason and Ralph are still working at all the Kitchen Springs update views. And he was in glory, but it wasn't too much for him to the train. At last, Ralph was waiting on a platform. "Greater attention is now that being a good listener thing is this the one bust my rails," said Ralph. And David Shunter buckled up to train. But David was in smile at once upon really useful time ago. Ralph and Jason started off to the room train. Ralph and Jason are still working on her own at the tunnel now bedroom cover.